Hello everyone, hope you are good and be happy always. Once again, welcome to Shachi's Academy, and today we will discuss purpose of communication. Okay, and thereafter in second part we will discuss the process of communication, right? So purpose of communication. Communication, as you know, comes from the communicare word of Latin that means to share or participate. See, whenever we have to engage in any of the activities that is done at the organizational level, at a bigger level, for production purposes or for dispensing any of the services, we have to engage in a teamwork, and that requires a hell lot of communication that has to be taken place between us. Okay, so according to Peter Little, that's the definition of for purpose of communication. Communication is the process by which information is transmitted between individuals and or organizations so that it results in an understanding response. Now, communication is what? It's a process, right, in which information is transmitted. You just give away information to people, you just transmit information, you just disseminate information, you just share information with the people and between individuals. It is taking place between individuals who work in any organization, who work jointly in any company or anywhere in your normal life also. Organizations wherever you work, the workplace, so that it results in an understanding response. This is very important. Understanding response, that means desired response. Whatever you desire. Suppose you desire something to be done by your employee, then you have to communicate that particular desire or that particular quantity that has to produce or that service that has to be given to you in clear terms, and that has to result in the desired response from that person. Suppose, for example, if I ask my peon to fetch me a glass of water, he needs to fetch me a glass of water, not 2 glasses, not 3 glasses. Okay, and not an empty glass at all. Okay, so that is understanding response. That means whatever is required to be done, whatever has been asked, it has to result in that. That means this has to be done. Understanding. A person should understand what he is supposed to do. Clear? Now, purpose. For purpose of communication in our normal life, we have different purposes of communication. Someone may want someone to do some household work, like maids at home and all. But in organizations, they have definite purposes for production purposes, or for carrying on a meeting, or for transmitting some message, sending out some mail, or supplying something, on arranging some resources, or any activity and all. So that type of purpose has to be carried on in any organization, and for that there are different heads. We have to discuss over different points. Now we have made a code to understand this topic very clearly, and that is our EDOL CGC. Now here EDOL CGC or EDOL CGC, you can discuss E. E stands for establish the goals. E for establish the goals. D for your develop plans. O for your organize resources. L for lead, direct, motivate. Okay. Then CGC for C is for control performance, G for gain greater commitment, G, and C again for collect information. From whom? From customers, suppliers, and the government. Right? So here there are the main points. Whenever you get the question that what is the purpose of communication, you need to write just a short introduction, that what is communication all, that we have discussed in our very first video, that's introduction to communication, and thereafter you can write that communicare means to share or participate, then definitions, 2 definitions of C.G. Brown and this Peter Little, and then you can just go on for purposes. And here number 1 point, and just explain them in two lines, so not more than that. Okay, so establish the goals. Number 1 is establish the goals. Whenever you have to carry on any organization and you have to do business, you need profits, really, because you carry on any productive activity just to gain profits in market. Otherwise, it's a loss, total loss. Okay, so to establish your goals, to define your goals, what do you need? You need to share your ideas with your peers, with your management group, and with other people, so that your idea and your goal is worth doing something. Okay, so it's worth finding definition. Okay, so goal has to be defined properly, establish the goals, and for that you have to communicate with different people. So it is important. First purpose is defining the goals or establishing goals. Number 2, develop plans. You need to develop various plans when you need to do anything. Suppose you need to carry on some production. Okay, so you have to plan something. Take for example, when you go for a simple party or a night out or some trip or some leisure activity, you just plan for those things like birthday party. You just will wonder from where to get cake, how much contribution should be made by people on a trip, or where to book your flights, or maybe a trip by bus or anything like that. You have to plan everything in advance. So planning for any organization is hell lot important, because it will define all your everything that has to be done in future, what production has to be carried on, how many people will do that production, what resources have to be gathered, from where you need to get the finance, from bank, your personal resources, your savings or anything like that. So in organization you need to plan everything, and for that really you need communication, and you need to communicate with various people to come to some definite conclusions and plans. Now, third is organized resources. Organized resources, that is very important for any type of production activity to be carried on by any organization. Why? Because production resources or factors of production are really very important, and to get them or to accumulate them or to organize them, you need communication. With whom? Suppose you are into a factory that makes biscuits, and for that biscuit, how many raw materials you require? You require labor, you require skilled labor and unskilled, both skilled and unskilled labor. Okay, skilled, unskilled. Then you require a bakery or factory, okay, bakery there's no, okay. Then here you require different types of other chemicals that you need to bake, chemicals. Then you require electricity, you require a plant, you require other raw material like flour, sugar, butter, everything. So these are all the resources that you will require, and many more. I'm not mentioning them all. Yeah, sugar and all, everything will be required. So you need to just organize resources, and for that you will have to accumulate all of them, and you will have to bargain with laborers to employ them. You will have to plan a plant, and then you will require technicians to make that plant and bakery and all, and then everything you need to bargain and communicate with various people to do this thing. So then again we have lead, direct and motivate. Okay, L. Lead, direct and motivate. Once you employ people, they have to be motivated, and a leader needs to lead them every day. Like supervisor, your managers, your boss, they need to communicate on day-to-day basis to motivate and lead people so that they can give you desired results. So if a bakery owner of a bakery, okay, he will lead his workers. How? He will ask them to make, suppose he asks them to make 100 packets of bread or biscuits or 1000 packets. In that way he is leading, right? Direct. And he will direct how they have to make it. Okay. Then motivate. See, motivation is especially very important in any of the organization. You may have only one employee at your workplace, but you have to motivate that also. Why? Because people do not get motivated on themselves. Occasionally they get motivated, and they have to be motivated continuously. Okay, so what do we do? Managers and all, they continuously give speeches to people. They motivate. Just like in Uri movie, you might have seen Vicky Kaushal motivating his soldiers to make that Uri attack successful. So you have to motivate people, and for that you need to communicate really very nicely. You have to have very good oratory and communication skills to motivate people to do the desired amount of work and desired work. Then control performance. When people are performing, they may perform their task at varied level. They may have different amount of capabilities, and in accordance to that, they will give output accordingly. Someone may be working in lesser amounts, and one may work for a larger amount of time. In that case, they will give differential amount of output also. So you need to see that you need to control their performance. How do they control performance? Managers, you have any idea? Yes. See, when anyone is doing a good amount of work, they are highly motivated and doing really good work, then you need to appraise them. So appraisals are done. Appraisals, okay, that's a sort of appraisal letter is given, then some amount is given as incentive or bonuses are given to that person, or some hike is given in his salary. So that is a type of communication. Again, appraisal is type of communication. Then if a person is not working as per his salary, whatever he is getting, then they may punish that person by giving him notice, okay, notice or any other type of activity that is meant for him for punishment, okay. So in that case, what is happening here? Communication is happening. Appraisal is a communication, notice is also a communication, okay. Then gain, G for gain greater commitment, okay. See, employees need the commitment of employers to give them salary, and employers need commitment of employees to give them the required amount of work and highly motivated performance in their organizations. So this is mutual commitment they need to get, and that requires your what? Communication. So communication again is very important. And last but not the least is your collect information. From whom? From customers, suppliers, government. This is CSG. You can just remember, memorize everything through these codes. 3-5 codes can be made in every answer, okay. So customers, suppliers and government, they need to conduct surveys through questionnaires, online surveys, or by asking the suppliers that what is the amount of commodity that is required. Take for example Britannia bread. I took the example of Britannia in my last video also. Britannia. So the managers of Britannia, marketing managers of Britannia go from supplier to supplier and they ask how many packets of biscuit are required in this area, in this region, in this city, okay. So in that case they conduct surveys, marketing managers of Britannia, and later on with suppliers also they conduct meetings and all. For that they require communication, and with government departments also they need to communicate on irregular basis, okay. So this is all about your purpose of communication, and here we will stop because this topic was quite that means not lengthy enough, but it is difficult to just decipher everything and understand and grasp everything at once. So I'll be discussing the purpose of process of communication in our second part of this video. So I hope you understood this video, and I hope you understood the contents, and they are really very helpful and to write the answers in exams. So be very precise in communication, and whenever you write your answers, your writing should be legible. That means the writing should be presentable. Secondly, your answers should be to the point. They need to contain quotations for exams, because I am explaining this portion as per the requirement of exams. And when you write your exams, write quotations word to word, in word to word form, whatever that person has said. Because if you are giving inverted commas, if you are writing something in inverted commas, they need not to differ in any form. In that quotation, is MR also need not differ. So you need to write the exact definition or exact quotation of that particular writer or that particular scholar or that learned personality, okay. So thank you so much for watching and subscribing.